Natalya Ransdell. I'm a sophomore here at UNR. I've lived in Reno most of my life. I moved here from Vegas when I was young, and I'm a biochemistry major. So leading up to the election, I was pretty nervous just because, it was a big election. I feel like both parties were very split. And I posted one thing on election day, and a bunch of people slid up. I lost like 50 followers, I think. And even my best friend, she went on an entire rant about how I was a horrible person because of what I posted, and that she just didn't understand who I was, and that I would was disgusting her based off of everything that had happened, which just really hurt, obviously, because my best friend, we've been friends for 5 years, so that was a really hard experience. And then not only were the people closest to me saying stuff, but people that didn't know me at all were saying things, which is extremely hard to hear because you don't know who I am as a person. Just because I post one thing that wasn't even taking supporting a big stance that people were assuming I was supporting. It was just a result of the election, and so basically everyone just chose to kind of tear me down for it. I think it's a difficult situation no matter what. I think that whichever party you voted for and whichever party wins, I think the side that loses is always going to have upset people, clearly, because the presidency is a big decision. And I think it's what campus could do possibly is to keep both parties in it, possibly even provide support for parties that won and parties that didn't. Because even if the party you wanted to win did, and the candidate you wanted to win did win, you might still have some certain feelings about a specific question, or even discussion groups or something. So you could actually learn about it, providing discussion groups for students to go to that's just an open conversation, and obviously having a mediator or something along those lines, because you don't want it to get ugly. But I think it would be very beneficial for students to have healthy debates with each other and understand other people's point of view. Because I know I love to talk to people that don't have the same point of view as me or the same opinion, because it actually broadens my knowledge, and it could even perhaps change my mind, potentially make me feel a different way about a certain subject, and I could potentially do that for someone else. And so I don't think it's about necessarily convincing someone that you're right, because that just turns into an argument, but I think it's important to keep students educated, which is why I think keeping decorum with a mediator in a discussion could be very beneficial to students. And also to just understand why someone voted the way they voted, because maybe you think it's for one reason when it's really for another. And I think if you truly took the time to understand someone and why they voted, I think that you might see that they care about human beings, and they care about you, they care about your life, and they care about what happens to the future. And there might be certain things that you can agree on, even if you feel you're on very opposite sides of the spectrum. I think that it's really important to consider education, and to remember that not every person receives the same education. Not everyone knows the same thing about the election. There could be propaganda that's spread, and so I think it's really important for there to be straight factual news, and to also provide education in school as well, whether it's an intro class or something that's a political theory class or whatever that's required by students to take, just to talk about election time, and to talk about how to treat those around you, because a difference of opinion shouldn't mean that you should be completely tearing someone down. But then again, we live in a free country and you can do whatever you want. So not whatever you want, but to an extent. So you could say what you feel about a person based on something that they say or do. And I just think it's important to spread awareness and to figure out how you could teach people to be more sensitive about sensitive topics. Things very big topics in the election, abortion or anything like that. I think it's important to like talk about what each policy means, you know, because I feel like a lot of people will see the first sentence of a question in an election and see the first sentence and be like, oh, I'm against that or I'm for that, rather than reading the whole question and truly understanding what it means, or learning what the policy is currently. Because there were some times where I would read the policy currently and then I would read what they'd want to change the policy to, and I would be either for the policy that we currently have or for the new policy. And I think it's important to understand what we currently have so that you can understand what you're voting towards to move forward with.